want to give all the praises and the honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rucha HaKwadash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone. Honors as well to you, brethren, you fellow believers of this truth, and shalom to the elect. So I've been trying to get to this video probably a couple of months, and I've seen this as a big issue with brothers in the past. This is not directed to any particular brother, but if it fits you and suits you to help you, then so be it, because I guess you'd be surprised of how many brothers don't understand budgeting and financing, right? You know, so that's what I want to talk about a little bit, because I've witnessed a lot of brothers in the truth, in my camp, other camps, there's various situations they have issues with their finances, and it gets worse and worse and worse, right? So I want to talk about that, because there's a lot to go along with budgeting and finances. First of all, your assets, you know, the things you know, first of all, number one is your roof to maintain over your head, your household. You should always have money saved. You know, they have the thing called the rainy day fund. You know, Jake, you know, you should not be working paycheck to paycheck, you know, and we know the scriptures in Haggai, you know, you work hard and you have not enough, but you can't take that in and make an excuse and put yourself in a serious form of debt and then read the scripture and say, okay, that's the excuse why I have this kind of debt, because the Bible said so. We've woken up to the truth now. You see what I'm saying? We've woken up to the truth, and it's going to be some bumpy roads. Brothers are going to get in some financial difficulty, but you should not stay there. Learn to give things up. Learn to cut back on things, right? Me personally, I'm not with new cars. I don't believe in car payments. There's some brothers will do, and if you are able to sustain a car payment and work, that's fine, long as it's not interfering with your finances or, you know, the part of budgeting your money. If you have a used car, you should always have a certain amount of money aside. I always say like a couple grand, because there's so many things can go wrong with your car. I know cars, so I know this, anything can go wrong, from your front end, ball joints, tie rods, stabilizer links, struts, bearings, wheel bearings, to your engine mechanical parts, you know, alternators and starters, they regularly go up, right? Water pumps regularly go up, all the way to your heater core, all the way to your electrical. There's so many things, your transmission, your engine. You get the point. There's so many things can go wrong with a used car. And even when you get new cars, you know, I used to work in that department too. You're going to have situations where they'll give you a warranty. The warranty runs out, or even they'll give you a bumper to bumper, but you got to pay some form of service fees. And then you find out after a few years of having this car, you know, you don't really want it no more. It's kicking your ass. Let me get a scripture real quick and I'll get back, because we always read this scripture, Matthew 16:19, lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and thieves do break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, where thieves do not break through and steal. Again, we read these scriptures and we understand that you ain't supposed to be trying to get rich in Babylon. You get your daily bread, but along with that daily bread is being able to sustain and budget and finance, just to support yourself. You don't need to be rich. You don't need to be well-to-do. But if you have a car payment, you should be able to pay the car payment. You shouldn't have an $800 a month car payment and you're not breaking $800 a week. Most places, when you rent a place or you try to get a place or whatever, they want you to make a certain amount. They ask for your pay stubs for a reason. When you go buy a car, when you go rent a house or an apartment, They need to know if you are able. It's crazy, but they have to be able to calculate if you're able to make your payments according to what you pay per month. So I believe the rule of thumb, if I can remember correctly, if you got whatever you make per month, say you make $2,000 a month, they want you to at least make half that in a week, or at least almost all of that in a week, because they understand that you're going to have car payments, you're going to have car insurance. They're just going in a bundle, so to speak. You're going to have car payments, you're going to have car insurance. When you get car payments, you have to have full coverage car insurance. You got to have gas and electric, right? You're going to want cable. You might have children, they need clothes. Your wife wants things if you got a wife, but she should be helping too, right? So you're going to have a lot of things that's going to come to play, not just with your rent, right? So be careful with all the luxuries. Okay, this is Proverbs 21:5. The thoughts of the diligent tend only plentiness, plentiness, right? Plenteousness. But every one that is hasty only to want. So when you go to the other translation, the NIV, it says, the plans of a diligent leads to profit, and surely as haste leads to poverty. Good planning and hard work lead to prosperity, but hasty shortcuts lead to poverty. So you shouldn't be trying to make shortcuts. Go do what you have to do, as long as it's legitimate to do it. Right? I'm not saying go do nothing wicked or evil. I'm just saying go do what you have to do. If it means that you have to take a job or whatever it is you have to do to pay your bills, then that's what you have to do. And if you can only afford a certain amount, or you only make a certain pay rate, then you shouldn't be putting yourself in a predicament that is going to cause you harm in the long run. You know, it's just that. I've seen some brothers years back do that. You know, they wanted certain things and they only was making a certain amount. You got to remember, you know, you also are in the church. So you don't want to spend up all your money and you buying all these things in this lavish lifestyle, trying to be lavish, and you're not making sure you take care of your home. You should even have some form of treasury at home. You should have some money at home. You should have some money in the treasury of your camp or your church. Jake is just horrible with money, you know, and that's why I'm doing this video. Jake can be very bad with money and won't accept that they're bad with money. You know, do what you have to do. You know, seek counsel. Okay, let me go to Proverbs 15:22. Without counsel, purposes are disappointed, but in the multitude of counselors, they are established. You got to be willing to accept it too. I mean, that's the one thing I've seen when I had own family that's in the truth. I had to really go get down on hard about that, man. There's no way you should be going to work every day and you don't have, at the end of the month, you barely have $20 in your bank account. It's not making any sense. So what are you working for? You know, this is why we got to be careful when you read some scriptures and you think, okay, I'm just living by day to day and I'm in a bad state. You know, it's all messed up for me. You don't have to be in that bad of a state, man. You don't have to put yourself in that kind of debt and then use the scriptures to justify you being deeply in debt, all messed the hell up. Right? Don't get credit cards and approved. Use them to an advantage. Learn how to use them. Brothers have them. I know all about credit. You know what I'm saying? Get your, if you get your credit, Your credit cards, if you have that, don't go. It's not your money. That's what you have to understand. You just can't go spending and buying every damn thing. Because what's going to happen? You're going to be in debt. This place runs on credit. I'm not saying go have A1 credit and try to live lavishly in Babylon. Not saying that. But if you should have already credit, you use it to your advantage and learn how to manipulate and use it. Right? I don't have much to say on this. I just wanted to talk on that. There's certain things in place in your life, certain things that you have to be diligent and you have to be disciplined, right? You're a disciple, right? Listen to the word discipline. It means to control or gain enforcing obedience or order. Okay, it says orderly or prescribed conduct or pattern of behavior, self-control. Right? Now, I myself and maybe other brothers, we've had issues with being disciplined. We're working every day to be disciplined in certain situations because we all got things that we deal with. But do not put yourself in predicaments that in the long run will, further, cause you an issue. You don't have it, so don't try to get it. In other words, have patience, be disciplined, be self-controlled. Pray for that. Don't have a $900 car payment and you're barely making any money. Don't have a nice little used car, which you should. There's no problem with that. But you're not saving any money. You're going out drinking. You're going out with little hobbies and little activities. You're buying 10, 15 pair of shoes. You got to get the new cell phone, which is not necessary. But if you can afford that, yeah, you do that. If you can afford it. I mean, to brothers who already got their self-established and they can work and they can afford a nice Audi or a nice new car or do these and do that, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But don't get things to try to keep up on a standard or on a level, knowing your ass can't afford it, man. And then you put yourself further in debt. And the deeper you go in debt, the harder it is to come out of that. Then you're looking for everybody else to help bail you out and take care of your situation, which you could have done yourself. Now everybody has to feel sorry. Now, again, this is not targeting anybody. This even go to myself. This goes for to all who it may apply. But I've seen this over and over again. I even tell brothers in our camp, man, get your finances in order. You know what I'm saying? Budget your money. Finance. Don't go buying all kinds of crazy stuff. I know you in captivity. But damn, you should have some money if your car breaks down. You should have your money to make your car payment, your car insurance, after paying, number one, your rent or mortgage or whatever you got. The first thing on the plate to keep the roof over your head. Get food stamps, or if that's your thing, or whatever you have to do. Buy food. A lot of us, what we do is we buy these expensive, whatever it is. Some brothers in the video games, right? And they would take the little bit of money they got left and buy some cheap food. My thing is, why wouldn't you pay for your health first and make sure you're putting the most nutritious things in you than putting 20-inch rims on your car? Just saying. Doesn't make sense. Anyway, I think that's it. Because I guess that was just the point. This is 1 Timothy 5:8. But if any provide not for his own, and especially for those in his own house, he have denied the faith and is worse than an infidel. right? Which means worse than an unbeliever. Why? Because you have to take care of your home and you take care of your brethren. But you don't purposely blow money, do crazy things with your cash, and then you look at a brother like he's supposed to just take care of you. You got to remember, all brothers have some way, some form of bills and things that they have to pay. And there's some brothers who team up together and they got to pay. Don't use the truth as a reason or a way to be irresponsible and expect everybody to step in and make sure you're good. That's my whole point. That's all I have on that. Shalom.